Hey everyone, Past Jamz here, back with another review, and today we have the critically acclaimed album Man on the Moon 3 The Chosen by Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi is a hip hop artist and rapper from Cleveland, Ohio, mostly known for his two albums, Man on the Moon 1 and Man on the Moon 2, back in 2009 and 2010. So, for Cudi fans like myself, have been waiting for almost 10 years for a trilogy album release, and that was debunked back in 2015 when he released Speeding Bullet to Heaven. After releasing that album, he had stated in a tweet that Man on the Moon 3 did not exist and that he had no future plans for that project. But now it's 2020 and he couldn't have chosen a better time to release this album, and I gotta say, it's a good one for a trilogy. Cudi has had an amazing year in singles and features, featuring in Selena Gomez's Rare album, A Sweeter Place. He also collabed with Travis Scott and Releasing the Scots, collabing with Eminem, which was very surprising, in The Adventures of Moon Man and Slim, and he even releasing his own single, Leader of the Delinquents. Leader of the Delinquents was a song he would perform live when touring on Man on the Moon 2 back in 2012. Leading up to this album, I saw the features and I was blown away. I was really surprised he didn't use uh, artists that were inspired by him, that he closely works with, like Kanye West, Jaden Smith, or Travis Scott. I really think they should have come on this album. I think fans would have liked that too or expected that, but they weren't. He chose Pop Smoke to be on this album. Skepta, Phoebe Bridgers was a big surprise, and Trippie Redd. As mentioned in a previous video, although I'm not a big fan of Trippie Redd or Pop Smoke, I still found that really intriguing and interesting that Cudi wanted them to be on the album. And I gotta say, on my first listen, I had quite a roller coaster of emotions. Um, it's a really modern take on the sound today of trap. I really thought he was gonna go back to his roots and keep the spacey Cudi sound, but on my first listen, the first half of the album, I was like, okay, this sounds like Travis Scott. This sounds like a Travis Scott album. But as I was talking to more people and my thoughts were getting, fleshed out, I thought to myself, okay, this doesn't sound like a Travis Scott album because this is Cudi's sound. Cudi inspired this sound today. Travis Scott and Jaden Smith use that sound today. They're inspired by him, and he's doing his take on that sound today because he inspired that sound. For the first half of the album, it's trap and hip hop together for one. And I think he does a really good job at exploiting and expressing that sound, especially with his harmonizing hums and the hard bass and the really spacious vibe that he gives off. But Cudi, other side of the fan base, fans that wanted that old school Cudi, rejoice because the second half of the album sounds just like that. The second half of the album sounds straight up like Man on the Moon 1 with Man on the Moon 2 vibes in some tracks, like the one with Trippie Redd, the Darkest Nights. I think he brings something to the table for everyone in this project. And even elements from his other albums like Indie Cud and even Speeding Bullet to Heaven, which I'll get to later. Talking a little bit more about the second half of the album, from Solo Dolo Part 3 onwards, I think he really gives us like that alternative hip hop, vibe going. And his hums are just as amazing as ever. He does a really good job keeping that sound, and like I said, he brings something to the table for everyone. And I think that's a good marketing thing for Cudi. Bring in everyone to this album. Anyone can come to this album. I guarantee you're gonna find something you like from Cudi. If you like the modern sound, like trap, listen to the first half. If you want more of that classic Cudi, listen to the second half. Something will be for you in this album. Oh. However, there are some downsides to the album. Like for one, the single song that I don't like is Elsie's Baby Boy. I think that song is way out of place. Reminds me of Speeding Bullet to Heaven, even though I like Speeding Bullet to Heaven. I think it's like this really wonky, weird, alternative folk style hip hop take. I think he was trying to make like another song, like Up and Away, back in Man and the Moon 1, but it just doesn't work here. It's too out of place. It doesn't fit the spacious vibe. It doesn't fit that feel. Something else that I was hoping that didn't transition to this album was the repetitiveness from Passion Pain and Demon's Land. Although I love Passion Pain and Demon's Land, I think that's a great project. That project's more mysterious, vibey, like a club soul type of album, and that's fine. But a lot of the songs are repetitive on that album, and I think that transitions a little bit over here. And I think some of the songs on Man in the Moon 3 could be too repetitive, and like they're missing something, like a longer chorus or maybe another verse. Songs like Tequila Shots and Another Day, those are good examples, and it's pretty hard because those are the first two tracks on the album. Something I like to mention is in Show Out with Skepta and Pop Smoke. I really wished I could have heard more of Pop Smoke and Cudi together. Although he is doing the chorus, I do believe that, in my opinion, that maybe Pop Smoke had already passed away while he was collabing with Cudi for this project. And that's really sad, you know. Although I'm not a big fan, I really would have loved to hear what Cudi and Pop could have done together. But Trippy Red and Kid Cudi and Darkest Nights, I think they do really good together. That's good chemistry and a really interesting take. So to me, this was a good album. This was to me a Man in the Moon 3 album. Although I was a little, I had to listen to it a few times. Well, more than a few times to fully understand his thought process and the message he was trying to send. And overall, he knew this was a big challenge. He knew this was going to be a big, impact, and everyone was going to be listening to this. And I really think that he was trying to please all Cudi fans, new and more older, who liked the older sound that he was going with back in 2009 and 2010. Although I had wished the same, even though I'm really young. I no spoiler. Well, it is a spoiler, but at the end of the last track, Lord I Know, uh, his daughter mentions to be continued. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Man on the Moon 4 or something to that degree, and I really hope he utilizes artists that he's worked with closely before, and gives us more of the Man on the Moon experience. So that is my take. I'm giving this album a good 7. I think that's a good score. Give this a listen. See if you like it. See if you don't. Let me know. And my top 3 tracks are Solo Dolo Part 3, She Knows This, and The Void. I think those are some good bangers right there. So yeah, let me know, guys. Did you like the album? What didn't you like about it? Do you think he's do you think the album was too overhyped? Was it underwhelming? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next review.